very good morning. So as we discussed in our last video that I will be targeting on the very important topics of your English exam, right? So today I am going to start with the very first topic, and the topic is our favorite, that is spotting errors. So let's start with your favorite topic, that is spotting errors. And you know what is the good part of spotting errors? That it's going to be covered in almost every exam. And you have some parts of this spotting errors, like sentence arrangement is categorized in this, and you can say sentence improvement, sentence completion. So many of the topics, they are included in this single portion only, right? So you need to be wisely preparing for this. That is why I have taken a very important hack. What we are going to do is that I have classified this topic into portions where see what is there in spotting errors कि हमने एक गलती ढूंढनी है सेंटेंस में मिस्टेक कहाँ पे है, और वो मिस्टेक किस में हो सकती है, आर्टिकल्स में हो सकती है, नाउन्स में हो सकती है, आपके prepositions में, conjunctions में, tenses में, and the list goes on. So very first we will start is with the articles. Now you remember what were the articles? Let's see. You are intelligent ones, every one of you is intelligent. So we all know that there are three types of articles. What are three types of articles? A is there, an is there, and the D is there, right? So A is an article that is for something that is indefinite. And indefinite means that you are not sure about something you have seen somewhere, right? So if you say, मैंने एक लड़की को मार्केट में देखा था, तो I saw a girl in the market, because you are not sure which girl that was, right? An is used, an is also for the indefinite one only, but yeah, it is used for something like the words which start with the vowel sound. And you remember the vowels we used to do in our classes? Like what were the vowels? A, I, E, O and U. These are the vowels. But apart from this, any word which starts with some kind of a sound, like O is there, like an R is there. So R starts with H, but yeah, when you will speak it, or and R, so what is there is, it would be having an with it, right? So in this way, A is something for single thing and for something that is indefinite. An is used where we are using it for something indefinite, but yeah, with some kind of a vowel sound or with some kind of vowels, right? Then you have the next portion, that is a definite article. And which article is left? Obviously an article D. D is used where you can say, when you know, I told you, मैंने एक लड़की को market में देखा. So I saw a girl in the market. वही लड़की मेरी friend की best friend थी. तो the girl which I saw in the market, in the next line, that girl would be sure, क्योंकि we are sure now that which girl we saw in the market. So in this way, the stands for something that is definite, right? Now you are aware like what is the difference between A and N, A and D. Let's move to the next slide of ours. What they are talking about is like, see, here also I am categorizing the difference between definite and indefinite. Like see, you have indefinite article, tells us something non-specific, like it's a thief. We are not sure like which thief we are talking about. So when there is any thief, he is not known to any writer or the reader. Like we are not aware. And the next, the definite article, the thief. This is the same thief that has also stolen some money from my house or from somewhere else. So when you are sure like which thief it is, right? So next is, it is the usage of article A, and D. Now the article is used in many other places apart from, you can say, A and N, right? So A here I am just revising it in a short and a very quick manner. A with singular countable nouns with consonant sounds, and you can say a bag, a cow, a university. Now why a university? Because here we are sounding with uni, U is a sound, not O or A as I told you. Next you have an article an is used for something I told you as singular countable nouns with vowel sound or starting with the consonant with the vowel sound. An, umbrella, apple and anar, right? So this was all about A and R. D has a big usage of it, right? So where article D is used, now you need to understand it and you need to note it down also, that where we are going to use the article the with us, right? So where article the is used is, the D can be used before a singular or a plural noun, both of which is obvious, right? So the can be used like I told you, use of the definite article. The can be used before a singular or plural noun, both of which is obvious and clear. Similar thing that it is used for something that is definite to us, right? The pen is on the table which I have gifted you. Now he is aware about which pen he is talking about. That is why the was used. Otherwise it would be that there is a pen on the table. But he know that this is the same pen which he gifted him. That is why the is used, right? Next is with all types of musical instruments like the guitar, the violin, the drums. So for every musical instruments, what you will be using is the article the with it, right? Next you have obviously with the names of rivers, oceans, mountain ranges, the Indian Ocean, the Himalayas, the you can say with the Yamuna. So everywhere the is used. Now we have 4 directions, right? North is there, south is there, you can say it can be west and it can be east. For all the directions what you will be using is the article the north, the south, the west and the east, right? Next let's start with the next line. What we have is with the name of the newspapers, magazines and the epics. So obviously these are something which are very definite and they have popularity level at their highest. So for newspapers, the Times of India, the Indian Today, the Bible, the Gita, the Bhagavad Gita. So everywhere you will be using the article the with it. With the unique things, now this is a very important point and you need to demarcate it from the other things. Like see, you are using with the unique things, the sun. It is only one, right? There is only one sun, one moon, you can say Taj Mahal. Its Taj Mahal is also one here. So what you will be saying is, yes, the sun is a unique thing. Don't use it, don't get confused it with the name of the planets. Now I am telling you, with planets you won't be using the, right? Because we have number of planets right now. With Earth is a planet. So don't get confused, there would be no article, no with any planet. With unique things, with sun, moon and Taj Mahal or any other you would found, that is we will be using the article the. Last but not the least, but also with the superlative degree, like the biggest, the smallest, the most, right? Or you can say the most important, something that is used for the superlative degree, we would be using the article the with it, right? So before I come to the next, like the is used for something that is very definite, you understand? Now where we use the article the, let's quickly memorize it. So we use the article the in number of places where we are targeting that is something definite is there, right? With all forms of you can say the musical instruments, right? Next with all kind of you can say superlative degree, and next we would be using it for some kind of a unique things would be targeted in it. We also would use the article the with some kind of you can say the apex, the Bhagavad Gita was there, the you can say the newspaper names is there and lots of other things, right? So till now, before I start you and I tell you that where you do not need to use the articles, let's quickly revise that what were the articles and where they need to be used. So we have 3 articles. The articles are A and the. So article A is used for something that is indefinite and is used for something that starts with the vowel sound, and it's also for the indefinite, and the is used for something that is definite to us. And where the was used? So the was used regarding the definite thing, regarding with the musical instruments, with the name of the ocean rivers, with the directions, with the newspapers, magazines, with unique things and with the superlative degrees. Now we will be starting with the next, like where we do not need to use any form of articles, right? So what we mean is the omission of articles. So where we need to omit the articles is with name of any person, place or thing. That is a proper noun, right? So you do not need to use any article over there. Before Rahul Gandhi, before Narendra Modi, even before your names, you won't be using any form of article. Next comes before material nouns. So you have material nouns like gold is there, silver is there, platinum is there and milk is there, and the list goes on. So before that also you won't be using any article. Next is before institutions, any kind of religious schools, hospitals, you won't be using any kind of article over there also. Before planets, before uncountable nouns. Now remember I told you that with Earth, you won't be using any article. With Mars, with Jupiter, with Pluto, with any of the stars in this, no article would be used. But yes, with the unique things, the article would be used, right? Next is where other things where we won't be using any article. Now see, you won't be using any article with the games also. Cricket, hockey, everyone plays cricket, hockey, there's nothing definite. With games, no article. Before meals, breakfast, I had my breakfast, I had my lunch, I had my dinner. So here, no article is used. Before languages and subjects, English is my favorite language, mathematics, I hate mathematics. So in this way, no articles to be used before, you can say any form of language and subject 7, right? So before starting, now here it just simply ends where you needed to use articles. What were our articles, right? So what were our articles? A, an, and the. Where we used article A, where we used article D, and where we used article and. All these 3 things, and where we need to omit these articles. These were the 8 areas, 8 portions where should be aware. Like I had done my breakfast, no article. I love English language, no article. Cricket is not our national game, no article before cricket also. Next it would be, what was there? Before the proper nouns, before material nouns, before institutions, before planets, and before uncountable or some sort of plural nouns. So here, this was all about the articles. Before I start with the next portion, let's talk about what do you mean by the nouns. You remember what do you mean by noun? We have done in our junior classes. What was a noun? किसी भी क्या बोलते थे हम? किसी भी व्यक्ति की बात की जाए, किसी भी person की बात, place की बात की जाए. तो noun is simply that refers to the name of a person, place, thing, emotion. So we have categories in noun also. And what are the categories? We have 5 categories of noun. First was the proper noun, second was the common noun, third was your abstract noun, fourth was your collective noun, fifth was your material noun, right? So let's remember it, like this is not needed. You don't need to know कि noun में इसकी definition क्या है. No, but that is for your understanding कि कौन से noun का मतलब क्या होता है. Simple. Let's start. Proper noun क्या होता था? Proper noun जब किसी person की बात की जाती, किसी विशेष person की बात की जाती है, तो what we use is proper noun. Common noun, like it's a category only. Any boy, any girl, right? So that refers to something that every person or category class that belongs to. Next you have collective noun. So collective noun, what collective noun refers? To some kind of a group, right? So like team is there, bunch is there, or you can say army is there, cattle is there. So it refers to a group. Material noun, what was the material noun? It refers to some kind of, you can say, object. You also can say it's something concrete which you can touch, right? So that is for the material noun. And last is abstract noun. What do you mean by abstract noun? Something you cannot touch and you can only feel it. So like love, you cannot touch love, you can only feel that emotion, and that is abstract noun. Hate, love, honesty, respect, all this comes in the category of abstract nouns, right? So I hope you know and you have remembered, like it gives you a recap, what were the nouns, what were the categories. अच्छा noun क्या होते थे? कोई place, person, thing, और यहाँ फिर उसकी category. So just remember the 5 categories, right? Let's remember the rules when you are to figure out कि भाई अब nouns में कहाँ कहाँ हम गलती कर सकते हैं. And this is very important, I tell you. Why? Because they look difficult, but they are not. You just need to remember quick rules regarding it, right? So now see, some nouns look singular but are used as plural. Singular क्यों लगते हैं? क्योंकि उसमें s और es missing होता है. तो हमें लगता है कि वो तो single चीज है, लेकिन वो हमेशा plural होते हैं. Like people is there, cattle is there, people, poultry, gentry, police, right? So they look singular, but we will always use were, have, or you can say are with these. Why? Because they look singular, but they are plural in form, right? Next you have is some nouns look plural in appearance. अब इनके plural कैसे लगेंगे? इनके पास s और es होगा, लेकिन इनको कैसे use किया जाएगा? सिंगुलर की फॉर्म में. नाउ टेल यू, मैथमेटिक्स में तो एस लगा है, तो इसकी तरह तो वो आर होना चाहिए, बट नहीं. मैथमेटिक्स, फिजिक्स, एथलेटिक्स, दीज ऑल न्यूज, ये प्लूरल लगते हैं कि इसके साथ आर यूज होगा, बट नहीं. What we will be using is, was, or you can say has in these sentences, right? Next you have is, some nouns are always used in singular and we cannot use them in plural form. उनकी form क्या होती है? They exist only in the singular form और उनकी plural form होती ही नहीं है. Like furniture is there, right? You won't say furnitures, no. Informations, no. Poetries, no. Advice, I need advice from you. So simply advice बहुत सारी लेनी है, कम लेनी है, that depends. But there is nothing like classification कि भाई advice कितनी चाहिए, थोड़ी दे दो, ज़्यादा दे दो, does not matter. Okay. Next you have is, your some nouns remain unchanged and used in the same form in singular as well as plural form. You remember when we were kids and all, so what we used to say, फिश होता है, और फिश का प्लूरल भी ना दूसरी साइड पे क्या लिखा होता था, फिश ही लिखा होता था. डियर होता था, तो डियर का प्लूरल क्या लिखा होता था, डियर. एस नहीं लगता था इसमें. इन सम बुक्स यू माइट फाइंड इट लाइक विद द चेंजेस एंड ऑल, बट यस, इन चीज़ों में क्या होता है, सिंगुलर और प्लूरल फॉर्म सेम रहती है, चेंज नहीं होती है. टीम, फैमिली, फिश, दिस. सो सिंपली व्हाट दे आर सेइंग इज, some nouns remain unchanged in the same form in singular as well as the plural, right? So there s and es is not added. In some cases if you see these things and you might get confused, ma'am book में तो s डाला है तो फिर वो गलत हुआ, नहीं. They keep on coming some changes, but the respective forms is completely right. Next is, some nouns are always used in plural form and they do not have their singular form. देखो सिंपल है, कईयों की सिंगुलर है, उनकी प्लूरल नहीं होती है, तो कई होते ही प्लूरल है, उनकी सिंगुलर नहीं होते हैं. कैसे? आई टेल यू. ट्राउजर्स है, ठीक है, यहाँ आप शॉर्ट्स डालते हो, तो यू वेयर इन द सेम, इट इज अ पेयर. स्पेक्टिकल्स है, आई एम बैड इन ड्राइंग सो डोंट जज मी ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ ड्राइंग, राइट? सो स्पेक्टिकल्स है, पेयर है, एक हाथ पे तो नहीं डालते, दोनों में डालते हो, राइट? सो समथिंग्स दैट एग्जिस्ट इन पेयर you will always count it for the plural form, right? So where are my shorts? Where you kept my shorts? Like seriously, you speak this to your house and all? Where are my trousers? Be careful, don't sit on my spectacles. My spectacles are very precious. So in this way, everything, your goods, your trousers, your jeans, your ashes, annals, or you can say arms, earnings, odds, everything that comes in your plural format. Now this is also very important rule. Whenever you have noun, pronoun, preposition and noun, right? We are categorizing it as NPN rule. Noun is there, then a preposition comes, then a noun comes. It would always be taken as a singular one, right? Like if I say, his man-to-man approach is very nice. Man is noun. To is preposition. Man is noun. Man-to-man, singular would be there. Case after case is singular would be there. Now see, case after case has been solved. He likes man-to-man approach. Now such things where noun is there, preposition is there and noun is there, singular thing would be counted. Fine. Let's come to the next now. Now these three are also very important. Now you will be thinking that ma'am is saying everything is important. Yeah, because I have figured out only the important things for you. Now see, double apostrophe is not used twice in a sentence. You cannot. For when you are explaining some kind of a blood relation, suppose, right? So when you are explaining some kind of a blood relation, just think only one apostrophe would be used in between. Two together won't be used. Now, Rahim's sister's husband. This is an apostrophe, this is an apostrophe. This is a wrong sentence. The husband of Rahim's sister. It's fine, right? एक end पे आ सकता है blood relation के, that is fine, that two blood relations are there, it's okay. But while explaining a single blood relation, you won't be using two apostrophe in it. Next you have, now this is there, 50 miles, 100 rupee note, 5-year plan. तो आपको लगेगा नंबर आ गया है और कितना भारी नंबर है, तो इसके साथ तो plural लगेगा. नहीं, it won't be counted as this. Whenever you have this numeric forms, 5-year plan is, 100 rupee note is. So every time you would be using these expressions as singular. Some nouns, now there are, the rule 9 is, like you are talking about some kind of a teacher, doctor, right? एंड यू डू नॉट अवेयर, यू आर नॉट अवेयर कि उसका जेंडर क्या है भाई. Is she a girl? Is he a boy? What is that? So when we are not aware about the gender of, you can say, any category, so what you will be using it, you will be counting it as a masculine one. A teacher must have command on his subject, right? Doctor should behave politely with their parents. Why there? यहाँ पे डॉक्टर्स था, डॉक्टर होता तो हिज आ जाता. ठीक है, तो उसको कैसे हमने करना है, इसको हमने ये कैटेगरी रखनी है कि whenever we are talking about some kind of a gender and we are not aware he's a girl, he's a boy, or what is that, so we would be using it, taking it as a masculine one. So here I am summing up all the rules which were based on the articles and the nouns, right? And I hope you have marked it up कि अच्छा articles में कौन कौन सा था, nouns में क्या क्या था. I'm taking 2 to 3 topics at a time so that you understand these topics really wisely and these go straight away in your head. तो इसके basis पे क्या होगा, whenever we are solving a question, suppose आपको question आता है, now I just tell you, I ask you, sun के आगे क्या लगेगा, you remember unique thing था, द लग जाएगा, अर्थ के आगे कुछ भी नहीं लगेगा, then you remember superlative degrees के साथ दी लगेगा, then you have the next NPN rule क्या था, noun for noun, noun preposition noun rule. So here singular would be used. Innings के साथ क्या लगेगा, s लगा हुआ है but वो plural दिखता है नहीं plural, तो हम क्या करेंगे, singular लगाएंगे. So this was all where I had a discussion with you regarding the articles and the nouns rule, right? Now in the next also I'll be covering with the next topics, like it would be preposition, conjunction, adverbs, where all these articles need to be used. So here it was all, and if I need, like, let's revise it before I end this video. What was there? We are starting with the spotting errors. How many types of articles were there? 3 types, A and D. Definite, which were the definite? The article. Indefinite, A and an. Then you had, what was the category? I told you, A and an कहाँ पे use होगा. उसके बाद हमने किया था the article और कहाँ पे use होगा, musical instruments के साथ, oceans, rivers, lakes, directions के साथ, newspaper, unique things, superlative degrees, right? Then articles कहाँ पे नहीं use होंगे, proper nouns के साथ, material nouns, planets के साथ, कोई भी uncountable noun के साथ, before meals, languages, sports, right? तो वहाँ पे नहीं use होंगे. Noun क्या होता था, noun की 5 categories कौन सी थी? Then we have as rules to remember regarding nouns. कुछ nouns दिखते भाई singular हैं but होते क्या हैं, plural. Same vice versa, कुछ plural दिखते हैं but they are singular. Then you have is like what are the information. अब इसमें क्या है, कई noun singular ही रहते हैं, उनकी plural form नहीं है, और कई noun होते ही plural हैं, उनकी singular form नहीं होती है, right? Then is your if noun is repeated, NPN rule क्या होता था हमारा, then is double apostrophe, ये expressions 50 miles 100 rupee, इनके साथ क्या लगेगा, singular. And the last comes, जब gender के बारे में नहीं पता तो हम क्या चलेंगे, masculine gender के साथ, right? So I hope you are aware now. You have done with the 2 topics, articles and nouns, and we'll meet next and we'll solve more of the topics and more of the interesting questions. Thank you, take care and have a nice day.